What is going on today, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Today, I just wanted to talk about the differences between working for a private fleet or direct carrier versus working for a third-party carrier in fuel hauling. So, for those of you who don't know, in fuel hauling, you can either work for a private fleet, which would be your Loves or Gemini Motor Transport, Pilot Flying J, Circle K, Sheets, basically anybody that hauls fuel or, diesel, gasoline, or products thereabout to their own stores. So trucks that are going to their company owned stores. Or you can also work for a third party carrier, somebody, generally a smaller company that is not nationwide. It's usually a regional based company that will go to different places, smaller mom and pop shops or convenience stores. Now, when I was first researching about getting into this industry several years ago, I heard from several different people as well as several different sources that ideally you want to work for a private fleet versus a third-party carrier for a few different reasons. The first reason being, with the third-party carrier, all the work is contract based because they don't have their own stores to fill, generally speaking. They have to bid on contracts for work for whatever stores they're trying to get, or whatever locations need fuel. And so those contracts only last so long, and sometimes, very frequently in fact, within those third-party companies, you will lose contracts and you will gain new ones. Because of that, there can be more of a shift in your consistency in work. Now, I personally, when I was starting out with my regional fuel hauling company as a third-party carrier in fuel hauling, I did experience a little bit of that. There was a little bit more inconsistency when it came to certain stores and certain contracts versus going to Pilot or even Gemini or any of the other private fleets. It wasn't a drastic drop off in work. It was just to the point of where it was noticeable. The next biggest reason I heard about to work for a private fleet instead of a third-party company is that when the economy gets bad or it slows down, the third-party companies are the first people to lose work because they are not supplying their own stores. They are not supplying directly to the customer. They are contracted out. So oftentimes in bad economies, those contracts will be very shortened or lessened, or they will be cut completely since the economy is not doing so hot. And then the last reason that I was finding to work for a private fleet over a third-party company is because, generally speaking, the private fleets have better benefits. They are paid more. There's more general perks to the job. Now, that's not always going to be the case. I'm sure you could find some exceptions to that. But from what I have seen, generally speaking, that tends to ring true. And certainly within my experience, it was a pretty significant step up in pay from my first company, which was a regional fuel hauling company, third-party carrier, to Pilot. The benefits were far and away much better at Pilot than my first company. That being said, again, that's not going to be the case everywhere. There are a lot of great third-party carriers out there in fuel hauling, and there are a lot of not so great third-party carriers in fuel hauling. Again, I did a video early on in my channel about WR Hauling out of Utah, or I think Salt Lake City, Utah. And those guys are paid very well. They seem to have a lot of benefits and they really like their job, a lot of new equipment. Again, I just wanted to make this video because not every company is created equal, and they certainly don't treat their employees equally across the board, across every single different company. So just something to keep in mind if you are getting into fuel hauling. If you think I'm wrong in any way, please put that in the comment section down below. Let's have a discussion about it. Or if you want me to make a specific video about a specific topic, let me know in the comment section down below as well. Otherwise, that's it for this video. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Hope you're able to spend a lot of good time with your family and friends. And if you're having to work on Christmas, I certainly understand. I have been there myself. And the only reason I'm not working on Christmas this year is because it happened to land on my days off. Make sure you're spending that time with your family or friends, loved ones, whenever you have time off from work, even if it's not directly on Christmas. With that being said, take care. Merry Christmas. God bless.